Room tangent.
As you were. I hear this is a fun time.
It's really a fun, always a fun time.
Why you got a smile on your face?
So Ready's best favorite.
Morning,
What's up, guys? How are we doing?
All right, we go ahead and get started. It's going to be kind of informal, so you go ahead and have a seat there.
All right, stand up. Sit down. Tell us about yourself.
You can't do that for me.
Thanks everyone for coming. Appreciate, sir, your time, Mr. Sims, Colonel K. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to come experience this. Again, it'd be a little lighthearted, a little fun, kind of interesting. Maybe learn something about LT here. We're not just, come on, Ken. Come on. We're just keeping it lighthearted here. We're not just celebrating another win tonight. We're celebrating a uniquely engineered talent, a program master, and a man whose path is in the making. We're here today to talk about Lieutenant Saej Awa. Now, first hearing his name, you might be thinking, Saej Awa, that sounds efficient, like a well-oiled machine, perhaps. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong, because Saej is a very complex system, meticulously designed, yet surprisingly adaptable. He's been extremely adaptable and resilient his first 2 years on active duty. So you're about to pin on your first set of silver bars, huh? Congratulations. You've officially survived your first hurdle, your initiation into the officer corps, the trial by fire called second lieutenanthood. But you shouldn't take that promotion for granted, nor should you any. Let me lay it out for you plain and simple. This goes to the rest of you guys on my younger corps here. You've proven that you can learn, not that you know. Being a second lieutenant is a lot like being a sponge. You're soaking up everything. Try not to drown in regulations, which I have you look at, acronyms, and the general chaos of military life. You've shown the ability to learn, but you haven't actually mastered anything yet. That first lieutenant bar means you're expected to start knowing what you're doing, not just pretending to. The responsibility increases exponentially with every rank. As a second lieutenant, you're often shielded, mentored, and corrected by your superiors and SNCOs when available. You're still learning the ropes, and everyone understands that. As a first lieutenant, that safety net starts to disappear. You're expected to take more initiative, make independent decisions, and be accountable for your actions. Mistakes will have bigger consequences now. You are responsible not just for yourself, but for your team as well, and others may be counting on you further. Your leadership is still being tested. Leading troops or a team is a privilege, not a given. As a second lieutenant, you're starting to find your leadership style. As a first lieutenant, you'll need to reform it, refine it, prove that not only you can give orders, but inspire teammates to follow you. A silver bar on your chest doesn't automatically make you a good leader, but your actions and respect you earn from your colleagues do. The metaphorical bar is raised. The expectations are higher, the challenges are tougher, and the spotlight brighter. You're no longer the new guy. You're expected to contribute meaningfully, to mentor other new members, and to be a positive influence on your team, branch, and division. Don't think you can coast in your second lieutenant charm anymore. That's now in the past. Now a little bit about Saej. He'll be the last of his peers to be born in the previous millennium, 1999. Let's just say his journey to being a program manager started with a slight nudge, you can say, from ROTC. He told me he randomly selected a mechanical engineering degree. Definitely wasn't because he needed a STEM degree to secure an ROTC scholarship. I'm sure it was really random. I can't tell you how many times we all randomly ended up in thermodynamics. I imagine he was thinking, well, physics, math, mechanics sounds interesting. Little did he know he'd be spending countless hours calculating the stresses, strains, and generally wondering if coffee counts as a fluid.
It's actually the real engineering degree.
But here's the brilliance of Saej. He took that random choice, that pressure cooker academic environment, and thrived. He didn't just survive the 4+ year engineering gauntlet, see, I didn't say 5, and conquered it. He mastered the language of design, the logic of problem solving, and the art of pulling all-nighters fueled by sheer willpower and questionable energy drinks. It's okay though, we tested him, it's fine. And yet, after all that time in the engineering world, Saej ultimately decided to become a PM. It sounds weird, right? But some may call it an engineering exodus, a departure from the blueprint, but I call it strategic optimization. Saej realized that his true calling was in orchestrating the creation, in leading teams, and in turning that complex vision into tangible realities. He saw the bigger picture, the human element, and the power of collaboration. And isn't that the essence of great program management? Saej brings in a level of analytical rigor to project management that most people struggle with. He's basically a human algorithm, constantly optimizing for efficiency and success. Although most of his brain power on Fridays tends to be calculating different ways to wrap up and leave early. But there's nothing wrong with the maximum efficiency, I guess. Saej isn't just data-driven, being a data-driven machine. He has a life outside of mod planning and risk assessments. A life fueled by, steak and pasta. According to him, he is all about crafting culinary masterpieces. He cooks a mean steak, one that could rival any Michelin star restaurant. And he makes pasta from scratch. That's crazy. That's dedication. That's attention to detail. That's engineering precision applied to the art of deliciousness. Yet you don't really like to bake. Saej does, I was happy to learn that Saej does has some more moral and social support from his girlfriend, who is a speech language pathologist. It makes you wonder, is she there to help him decode jargon? Or is he using her to practice stakeholder communications? Either way, I hear she's the only one sometimes that can actually understand him. On to his family. His father was a C-130 and C-17 loadmaster for 20 years. Talk about a life service and dedication. This is the man who kept our troops supplied, our airplanes in the air, and our country safe. It is clear that Saej comes from a family, comes from a lineage of hard work, discipline, and a commitment to excellence. And we expect nothing short. Finally, think about the discipline, the dedication, and the sheer focus, not only from an engineering degree, but then to pivot onto a different field and excel. Saej embodies that drive, that ambition, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. He's a valuable asset, a strategic thinker with the potential to shape the future of our project for the better. So let's give it up for Saej Awa, the engineer who's programmed for success. All right, let's go with, stand up and come forward, please. So I just want to say that under me, the past couple months, close to coming up on a year already, I think, been growing, and it's been a pleasure seeing you grow and expand, and I wish you best in the years to come. Let's be your ranks. Thank you. Get on back through the hat. So it's my pleasure to promote you to the rank of First Lieutenant, effective 1 June 2025. It is upside down, we can fix later.
Did you tell him to say this? That's how you written all.
Sorry, it's a little crooked.
Yeah, that's fine.
I made you look.
Alright, with this, wear this bar with pride to represent increased responsibility, greater expectations, and continued dedication to the Air Force mission. Alright, with these, including the oath of office is not required, but it's done as a form of respect for one's new rank and forged military tradition. So I'm gonna hold on to this for you. Alright, see that attention?
Major is.
Seriously?
Switch.
Yes.
Alright, everybody else.
Alright, first Saej Awa. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Saej Awa,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear
that I will bear
true faith
true faith,
and allegiance to the same,
bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take
that I take
this obligation freely
this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will
that I will
well and faithfully
well faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office upon
of the office upon
which I am about to enter.
in which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Alright, congrats to again, First Lieutenant Awa. The floor is yours.
Alright, so it's almost been 2 years since I've arrived on station to Eglin, coming from Colorado State. I did RTC for not 4 but 5 years because I did a 5th year for engineering. But I am I gotta say that I lucked out a lot with where I ended up at. Eglin is probably one of the most beautiful locations where a base could be. You got the beach down the road and you got multiple bases. The BH is pretty nice down here too. But when I came down here, I was first entered QF16. For those I've met since I met through QF16, it was gotta say a bumpy road to say the least. Everyone says no, but they're lying to you. But I would say I learned in the first couple of months, I kind of learned a lot what program management was, and I was a little bit shocked of what all the small things that you had to pay attention to, all the attention to detail with the small things such as go through all these folders just to find a schedule from 10 years ago and kind of use it to frame a new schedule, or look at the cost, all these B-docs that I didn't know what they meant, what these numbers meant. But over the years, just being at QF16 and then going into AFSAT and learning a lot through AFSAT, that you kind of get a far perspective, and you kind of once you get good at understanding what these numbers mean, you gain a greater appreciation for the job. So I first want to thank everyone who has taught me, who has shared at least small things such as where this folder is located, how to format a simple MFR, or all the way to assisting me with bigger projects such as Lot 21 and with Lot 22 through 24 and other things. So I want to also thank all my friends, even my family who are not here, for all the support that you guys have provided. For those who don't know me, I like to stay in during weekends. For those who do know me, please be quiet. But yes, and I wanted to also thank higher leadership for being here, for supporting me in my journey through acquisitions, and I look forward to seeing where this road takes me. And yes, thank you everyone. I appreciate it.